What a danyo, what a dang, and go danyo, oh, what a dang. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushu, number where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we will do that on just one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. Now today we have a number of issues we need to look at, and we got to go straight up into that without much ado. Nobody is bigger than the truth. Now the very first story we are looking at today is taken from City Newsroom, and it says those demanding Atta Mills's autopsy are not my relatives. And this is Samuel Atta Mills speaking. Now, who is Samuel Atta Mills? Let's find out. Let's run setting real on him. Now, the member of parliament for Commander Edina Egwafu Ebrim and brother of the late former President John Evans Atta Mills, Samuel Atta Mills, is livid over the recent request for his late brother's autopsy report. Samuel Atta Mills asserted that the people demanding the autopsy reports are not family members and do not share ties with them. He also disclosed his innocence in the demand for the autopsy. Those who went to see the president for the late president's autopsy are not family members. They are imposters. Kwaku Anyidaho is not my relative. They are cheap people looking for something to eat. They should leave us alone, he said in an interview with Adum FM. Now, my God. This follows a request Nana Enyimfua III, representing the Atta Mills family, made to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Jeez. And this happened last week. Hallelujah. She made a call when she was accompanied by the founder of the Atta Mills Institute, Koku Anyidaho, to pay a courtesy call on the president in Accra. Nana Enyimfua III expressed concern over the unknown cause of Atta Mills' death and emphasized the importance of obtaining the report for closure and historical records. She said, "Our biggest problem as a family is that ever since I was installed as Queen Mother, I have not seen any autopsy report in the family. This is the biggest problem I have with the family, because if someone asks me what killed him, I wouldn't know. If the doctor said he broke his arm or his neck or drank something, then we will get to know." This is the Black Pot. Now, first and foremost, what is an autopsy report? When somebody dies, doctors try to find out exactly what killed the person. In other words, they try to find out what it was that took the life of the person. What kind of sickness was it? Now, John Evans Atta Mills, whose photograph you see here, my brother, my sister, died whilst in office. We were told he died from a massive heart attack. And this was told to us by his own brother, who is in contention with the cheap people, in his own words, who are just looking for food to eat. This is the man. My brother, my sister. Card Atta Mills is his name, my brother, my sister. And he wants this thing to be put on record, my brother, my sister. His name is Samuel Atta Mills. That's what his name is. And he's made it clear. My brother, my sister. Now, that is what an autopsy report is. It tells you exactly what killed a man. And that is a report the dead body itself never gets to see. Same as the death certificate. My brother, my sister. Now, all of a sudden, it has become so important to find out exactly what killed John Evans Atta Mills. Now, I remember some time ago, this issue came out. In fact, and Samuel Atta Mills came out and made it clear that the man died from a massive heart attack, and that doctors did not find any foul play. I remember this was put out in the media. But is that enough for the nation? Let's get into the nitty-gritties of this issue. John Evans Atta Mills was not an ordinary man. He was the president of the nation. In fact, when he was alive, he called himself the father of the nation. True? My brother, my sister, he said he will be father for all. And he lived by that. He truly was the father for all. People who offended him begged him for pardon, and he gave it to them as if nothing ever happened. But again, we must not lose fact. We must not lose sight of the fact, my brother, my sister, that when the man was alive, he hid his own health status. When John Evans Atta Mills was dying from cancer, he told people that he only had some nasal issues. He never came out to tell anybody that he was suffering from cancer. And as a nation, we have to decry and bemoan this. As a public figure, nothing about you is public anymore, except what happens between you and your wife behind closed doors. If you are sick, the whole nation needs to know that you are sick. You are no more a private entity. You are a public entity. Once you give up yourself in the service of the nation. If you are sick, you must tell us that you are sick. In fact, your health report should be out in the open. Everybody must see exactly what is wrong with you, so that Ghanaians will get to know exactly whether you are still fit for office or not. There are some sicknesses, my brother, my sister, that need treatment, and therefore people should be taken out of office. One of them is schizophrenia. John Evans Atta Mills, we all know, was sick. My brother, my sister, it was in the grapevine that he was dying from cancer, as told to us by Esula. My brother, my sister, then in opposition, Esula Owusu. My brother, my sister, now the president only told us that he had some nasal blockade. His nose was blocked. He never made mention of any cancer. Then all of a sudden we heard that he had a massive heart attack and he died. Do we need not to know exactly what killed the man, especially that he was in public service? Please. Now those people who are asking for the report, they might be doing that with some ulterior motive, with some malice, maybe to try and win some political points. Some of them may be doing that out of some bitterness. Some of them may be doing that out of malice. But my brother, my sister, let us forget about all these things and deal with the issue properly. Do we need to know what killed the late president? Yes, we need to know as a nation. That is why when we are going into public office, you declare whatever you have before getting into public office. And when you get into public office, all details can come around and check out and see what you have and what you don't have. Again, your health status has to be made public, so that we all know if you're suffering from coccidiosis, or maybe you are suffering from erectile dysfunction. Maybe you are suffering from malaria, or otherwise, maybe you are even suffering from schizophrenia. Because I believe that Ghanaian politicians, a number of them, not only Ghanaian politicians, a number of African politicians are suffering from dementia. A lot of them are schizophrenic because of some of the decisions they take and some of their actions. You can only relegate that to people suffering from schizophrenia and dementia. My brother, my sister, my prayer is that they will heed to this. And to Samuel Atta Mills, with all love, your brother passed on. You were able to see the report. Please, Your brother was not a private entity. Your brother was the president of the Republic of Ghana, for crying out loud. You cannot hide and bury this man without making the nation know exactly what took him away. We need to know. The whole nation needs to know whether Koku Enyidawo is a member of the family or not. Whether who is a family member or not. We are all family members. After all, the president himself said that he had put himself in the father position for all of us. Yes, he himself did not come out boldly to say that he was suffering from any cancer, as we were told by Esla Owusu and some other people, propagating this. The whole thing could have been put to rest if they had come out with exactly what was wrong with the president at the time. My brother, my sister, to God be the glory. I pray that this is granted so that the nation gets to know exactly what killed the former president. Was it a heart attack? Massive as we were told it was. What caused the heart attack? Did he drink some coffee? Was it coffee, or it was coffee with something else? We need to know. In the interim, my brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot. Now, still on posthumous things, my brother, my sister. This one I'm reading from Tree News, my own Tree News, the most authentic source of news online. And it says, UPDN expresses deep disappointment over lack of progress in arresting killers of Ahmed Swale. And I read, the United Press for Development Network, UPDN, has said it stands in solidarity with the family, friends, and colleagues of Ahmed Hussein Swale, the Vela, on this solemn occasion as they mark 5 years after the killing of the investigative journalist. UPN said they remember Ahmed not only for the fearless journalist he was, but also for the impact his work has had on fostering transparency, accountability, and ethical journalism. His killing serves as a stark reminder of the challenges journalists face in their pursuit of truth. The statement said. Ahmed Swale, 31, an investigative journalist, worked with Tiger IPI, the investigative firm established by Anas Armiyao Anas, known for its use of undercover journalistic methods to expose corruption and other ills in the society. His murder in Accra in January 2019 shocked many across the media landscape. The attack on Ahmed Swale echoes the broader threats against press freedom and the dangers faced by investigative journalists who strive to expose corruption and wrongdoing. The UPDN statement said, I leave it. Now that was the photo of Ahmed Swale you saw a few seconds ago. Ahmed Hussein Swale Diviela. He was a Dagomba boy. And Diviela simply means it's good. Efe. It's nice. But as if to respond to his killers, he said that it's all good. No problem. I am gone into eternity. I'm waiting for you. My brother, my sister, this is Ahmed Swale. He passed on, he died. Dash him away. Come here. Hear me now. Now, Ahmed Swale worked with Anas Armiyao Anas as a journalist. I am sure anytime some people hear the name of Ahmed Hussein Swale, they would go straight into a certain kind of spasm. They would start experiencing some level of fits, aka Kpokpo Bili. My brother, my sister, Ahmed Swale's work took a lot of people into the doldrums. People were locked up in jail. Bad people were exposed. And many more were scared to do the wrong thing. It was a plus for the nation. Many criticized the modus operandi of the Tiger IPI group. Many others exalted them At the end of the day, he was gunned down in broad daylight, right there at Medina. A few days after a sitting MP proclaimed to the whole nation, he's a bad boy. Anytime you see him around my premises, beat him up, beat him, and I will pay. Kennedy Agyapong. My brother, my sister, anytime the name of Ahmed Swaleh is mentioned, I am sure Kennedy Agyapong will go into some fits, some level of fits, and he will ponder over some of the things that he said. I am sure if he has the opportunity to wind back the hands of time, he would not make those utterances again. I'm just wondering if Ahmed Swaleh was one of the children of Kennedy Agyapong, and some sitting MP sat somewhere and said, this guy is a bad guy, this is what he has been doing, A, B, C, D, E, F, and shows the face of his son to the public, and a few days later he is gunned down in this gory circumstance. I'm sure Kennedy Agyapong will demand justice. I am sure Kennedy Agyapong will never rest until he gets to the bottom of the issue. And it's the same thing. If that was your son or my son, why are we cold on the investigation? Kennedy Agyapong himself said several times that he is in a hurry to wash his hands off clean of this issue. He says he's in a hurry to prove that he's not the one. We saw him on live TV shouting at his workers and calling them all kinds of names for making a murder issue look like a joke on live TV. Kennedy Agyapong is in a hurry to clear his name from this Ahmed Swaleh issue, to the point that he even said that he knew the murderer and he was in Kumasi. He mentioned a name. All of a sudden that name popped up and he said, why do you say it's me? I've never even met Ahmed Swaleh. Prove it. There was no proof. Everywhere went silent again. Several times Kennedy Agyapong said he would expose the IGP, Dr. Akuffo Dampare, over the killing of Ahmed Swaleh. According to Kennedy Agyapong, the IGP knew exactly who killed Ahmed Swaleh, and he himself had approached the IGP and told the IGP exactly who killed Ahmed Swaleh. But he claimed that if the IGP did not mention the name quickly and follow this person, he, Kennedy Agyapong, will go underground and bring out the name. He went underground like a submarine. He brought out a name, but it turned out to be a false alarm. From that time, what happened? Deep in my heart, I know that Kennedy Agyapong, honorable, is looking forward to cleaning his name from this dirty register. But my brother, my sister, that's why I said, I am sure if he had the opportunity to wind back the hands of time, he would not again say the same things he said. He came here on an interview and he said he did not regret anything he said about Ahmed Swaleh. I think that is regretful. Better still, regrettable. My brother, your utterances led to the death of somebody. Some people may probably have been looking for him already. The fact that you mentioned this, it was an opportunity to go after them. Yes, he said, before I should show our kundada. Now, Otise, Obi cry, should show dada about you. Say, what for kwakwa? Ubetino in the night. Pow! Wabowa before you. My brother, that is why we ask people not to threaten, not to issue threats. There might be some people lingering in the background, ready to take action. Now, Kennedy Agyapong said it several times that Anas Armiyaw Anas was responsible for the murder of Ahmed Swaleh. And when the matter went to court, I honestly was waiting for the evidence. We didn't see any evidence, but the matter was cleared from the court. By what magic, I still do not know. will not sit anywhere and say Canada Japan killed Ahmed Swale. Never. Neither would I say, oh, Canada Japan had actually hired people to do that. But we can infer that the murder happened after he put out the photographs of Ahmed Swale and asked anybody to beat Ahmed Swale if he came to his premises. My brother, my sister, is this lawful? These utterances, are they lawful? What are our laws doing? Of course, he was invited. He went to talk. So what happened next? It's been 5 years. By now, Ahmed Swale has become bones, skeleton. His 2 wives are still looking for husbands. His children are struggling to have their school fees paid. All because their father tasted an untimely death. May posterity have mercy on us. Last issue I want to look at. And he says, I pity Ghana's next president. And this is Franklin Cudjoe speaking. I'm going to spend just about 4 minutes on this and I'm done. My brother, my sister, Franklin Cudjoe is the boss of Imani. My brother, my sister, it is a think tank right here in the Republic. Franklin Cudjoe was a year behind me at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And we were in the same hall, Independence Hall. I knew him when he was on campus. He was very quiet. And I think he's still quiet, but he makes his pen do all the talking. Franklin Cudjoe has said that he sympathizes with Ghana's next president, looking at the rot that Ghana has accumulated. Ghana is a rubbish dump as it stands right now. I agree with him. My brother, that was why I cautioned with all respect and humility the former president, Mr. President, with all love and respect, please don't make promises, especially lofty promises. Tell Ghana that you're going to do your best to leave a legacy behind and that you need everybody on board. You go to the chiefs, they all want you to promise them that you will tar their roads for them, you will build them schools and all that. Please don't make those lofty promises. We saw what you did when you were in power. And we saw what these people did in their first term. And we are seeing what they are doing in their second term. I know the Ghanaian voter most of the time is not rational and reasonable. We vote on the lines of tribes and religions, unfortunately. But it looks like Ghanaians are standing up right now. People are beginning to open their ears and eyes. After all, if you go and vote for an incompetent church member or an incompetent tribesmate, you will eat kenke without fish. You will drink cocoa sakora and go to bed. You and your children will suffer the vicissitudes of the economic turbulences. Hallelujah. My brother, if you are silly enough to go out there and decide that you will vote on tribal lines, ethnic lines, religious lines, without looking at competence and the content of the character, at the end of the day, we all shall be in the sinking Titanic. And when we are crying, ahoy, 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 the ahoy crying will not stop the sinking of the Titanic. We all shall go down. And those of us who are Jonas might be lucky enough to be swallowed by the whale and taken to the other side and spat out. But those of us who are not, we will become fish food. Think about it deeply. I still wonder why Ghanaians, despite all these economic turbulences, you still would go to the ballot box leaving your brains at home. Write it down. I am saying, I wonder why Ghanaians still go to the polls in these economic turbulences leaving their brains at home. My brother, my sister, it's time to relegate your heart to the background. Use your brain. If you follow your heart, you will vote for your brother who is incompetent. If you follow your heart, you will vote for your church member who is a thief. But if you follow your brains, you will kick your incompetent brother out and vote for your competent enemy. Hey, write it down. Write it down. Oh, write it down. I said, if you follow your heart in these times, you would vote for your incompetent brother. But if you follow your brains, you will kick away your incompetent brother and vote for your competent enemy. Hallelujah. Jesus have mercy. Mese aseda yonya menidia, aseda yonya menidia, aseda yonya menidia, mentu minkada muayamame. On this note, my brother, my sister, I leave it here. You decide whether you want to go to the ballot box with your heart or you want to go there with your brain. The nation will continue to be incompetent if we follow the dictates of our hearts. But the nation shall grow and flourish if we go to the ballot with our brains. Today, my brother, my sister, I leave you with these words. Ghana shall prosper again. It's been the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo. Here we speak truth to power.